Cat won't stop hugging crying puppy. Then the shelter manager uncovers a heartbreaking truth. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting a sterile glow on the rows of cages that lined the walls of the Los Angeles animal shelter. There, thick with the scent of disinfectant and a cacophony of barks and meows, buzzed with the frenetic energy of countless animals seeking refuge and a second chance. In a quiet corner of the cat room, nestled amongst the playful kittens and timid strays, sat Oliver, a majestic Maine Coon with a coat as gray as a winter storm and eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. He was a long-term resident, his arrival at the shelter shrouded in mystery, his past a forgotten chapter in the endless cycle of abandonment and neglect that played out within these walls. Oliver, his once proud form now bearing the weight of years, his movements a deliberate grace that belied his age, had become a fixture in the shelter, his presence a calming influence on the other animals, his gentle nature a source of comfort to the staff and volunteers who cared for them. He would often be found perched atop the highest shelf in the cat room, his watchful gaze surveying the scene below, his purrs a soft rumble of reassurance amidst the anxieties and uncertainties that filled the air. He would greet the newcomers with a gentle head bump, his whiskers twitching with curiosity, his soft meows a welcoming melody in the cacophony of sounds. He would patiently groom the frightened kittens, his rough tongue a soothing balm to their trembling bodies, his presence a comforting warmth in the face of their uncertain futures. He would offer a comforting purr to the anxious dogs, his deep rumble a calming vibration that seemed to ease their fear and loneliness. The staff, their hearts touched by his gentle spirit and quiet wisdom, had come to regard him as a guardian angel, his presence a reminder of the resilience of the animal spirit and the enduring power of compassion in the face of adversity. They would often seek him out during their breaks, their weary souls finding solace in his calming presence, their hands gently stroking his fur, their voices soft whispers of gratitude and admiration. But despite the affection he received, Oliver carried a deep sadness within him, a longing for the home and companionship he had lost, a memory of a life filled with love and laughter that now seemed like a distant dream. He had been abandoned at the shelter months ago, his owner, an elderly woman who had cherished him for years, succumbing to illness, her passing leaving a void in his life as vast as the city that surrounded him. He had witnessed countless animals come and go, their fates uncertain, their futures hanging in the balance. He had seen the joy of adoption, the happy tears of new beginnings, the promise of a loving home and a second chance at happiness. But he had also witnessed the heartbreak of those left behind, the lingering sadness in their eyes, the fading hope that eventually succumbed to the harsh reality of the shelter's limitations. He knew that his own chances of finding a forever home were slim, his age and quiet demeanor a deterrent to potential adopters, his fate likely to mirror that of the countless others who had passed through these doors, their stories ending in the quiet sadness of an unclaimed life. And as he sat in his corner of the shelter, his gaze fixed on the bustling city beyond the windows, its lights a dazzling spectacle that offered no warmth, its sounds a cacophony that grated on his sensitive ears, he couldn't help but wonder if his own story would end in the same way, his life a forgotten chapter in the endless cycle of abandonment and neglect that played out within the shelter's walls. The usual cacophony of the shelter was punctuated one afternoon by a new arrival, a flurry of activity that disrupted the routine and brought a wave of excitement and curiosity to the animals and staff alike. A young couple, their faces etched with a mix of sadness and reluctant determination, carried a small, whimpering bundle through the doors, its golden fur peeking out from beneath a worn blanket, its playful yelps echoing through the hallways. It was a golden retriever puppy, barely a few months old, its eyes wide with confusion and fear, its tail tucked between its legs, its presence a stark contrast to the hardened exteriors of the shelter's long-term residents. The couple, their voices thick with emotion, explained their situation to the receptionist, their story a familiar one in the shelter's annals. They had found the puppy abandoned in a park, its tiny body shivering with cold, its cries for help a desperate plea in the vastness of the city. They had taken it in, their hearts touched by its vulnerability, their own love for animals a guiding force in their decision. But their circumstances, their small apartment and busy work schedules, made it impossible for them to provide the puppy with the care and attention it needed. They had brought it to the shelter with heavy hearts, their farewells a mix of tears and whispered promises of a better future, their hope that someone, somewhere, would open their home and their heart to this adorable creature. The puppy, his name was Buddy, was placed in a small kennel, its metal bars a stark contrast to the freedom he had known in the park, its unfamiliar smells and sounds a source of anxiety and confusion. He whimpered softly, his cries a mournful melody in the cacophony of the shelter, his eyes searching for a familiar face, a comforting presence in the unfamiliar surroundings. The shelter staff, their hearts touched by his plight, did their best to comfort him, their voices gentle, their hands offering a reassuring touch through the bars of his cage. But Buddy, his young spirit wounded by the separation from his human family, his playful nature dampened by the unfamiliar environment, remained withdrawn. His whimpers a constant reminder of his loneliness and vulnerability. And as the day wore on, and the shelter's lights dimmed, casting long shadows across the rows of cages, Buddy's cries grew louder, his despair echoing through the hallways, his presence a heartbreaking reminder of the countless animals that had passed through these doors, their fates uncertain, their futures hanging in the balance. Oliver, perched on his usual high shelf, his wise eyes observing the comings and goings of the shelter, had witnessed countless scenes of heartbreak and despair. He had seen animals arrive, their spirits broken by abandonment and neglect, their eyes filled with a fear that mirrored his own. He had watched as they struggled to adapt to the unfamiliar environment, their cries echoing through the shelter, their presence a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the harsh realities of the world. But Buddy's arrival, his mournful whimpers and trembling form, stirred something deep within Oliver's heart. He saw in the young puppy a reflection of his own vulnerability, his own longing for companionship and a safe haven. He felt a surge of empathy, a paternal instinct that transcended the boundaries of species, a desire to offer comfort and protection to this lost and lonely creature. He descended from his perch, his movements a deliberate grace that belied his age, his eyes fixed on Buddy's cage, his heart filled with a newfound purpose. He approached the cage cautiously, his soft meows a gentle greeting, his presence a calming influence in the midst of the puppy's distress. Buddy, his ears perking up at the sound of Oliver's voice, his tail giving a tentative wag, looked up, his eyes meeting the cat's with a mix of curiosity and hope. He had never encountered a cat before, his world limited to the confines of his former home and the brief encounters with other dogs in the park. But there was something about Oliver, his calm demeanor, his gentle gaze, his quiet strength, that resonated with him, offering a sense of comfort and reassurance in this unfamiliar and frightening environment. Oliver, sensing Buddy's vulnerability, reached out a paw, his touch a gentle caress through the bars of the cage, his purrs a soft melody that soothed the puppy's anxieties. Buddy, his fear gradually subsiding, responded with a soft lick to Oliver's paw, his gesture a silent thank you, his trust in the older animal a testament to the enduring power of connection in the face of adversity. And so began an unlikely friendship, a bond that transcended the boundaries of species and the confines of their shared cage. Oliver, his wisdom and experience a guiding light, became Buddy's mentor and protector, his presence a calming influence on the puppy's exuberant energy. He would groom Buddy's fur, his rough tongue a gentle caress against the puppy's soft coat, his purrs a lullaby that soothed his anxieties. He would share his food with Buddy, his generosity a testament to his compassionate nature, his actions a reminder of the importance of sharing and caring in a world where resources were often scarce. He would teach Buddy the ways of the shelter, the unspoken rules, the routines, the hierarchy that existed amongst its inhabitants. He would warn him of the grumpy tomcat that ruled the cat room, the boisterous Labrador that dominated the dog kennels, the importance of finding a quiet corner where they could share their companionship and peace. Buddy, his playful spirit tempered by Oliver's guidance, his respect for the older cat growing with each passing day, learned to navigate the shelter's complexities, his confidence growing, his fear gradually replaced by a sense of belonging and a newfound appreciation for the friendship that had blossomed in the most unexpected of circumstances. And as the days turned into weeks, their bond deepened, their shared experiences weaving a tapestry of trust, loyalty, and the enduring power of connection that transcended the boundaries of their different worlds. They were two souls, brought together by fate, their friendship a testament to the resilience of the animal spirit and the healing power of companionship in the face of adversity. The Los Angeles Animal Shelter, A sprawling complex of kennels and cages, a temporary haven for lost and abandoned creatures, buzzed with a frenetic energy that mirrored the city's own relentless pace. The staff, a dedicated team of animal lovers and caretakers, worked tirelessly to manage the constant influx of new arrivals, their days a whirlwind of feeding, cleaning, and comforting the animals entrusted to their care. Sarah, the shelter manager, a woman with a compassionate heart and a weary determination in her eyes, navigated the shelter's hallways with a practiced efficiency, her clipboard a shield against the emotional toll of witnessing the endless cycle of abandonment and neglect. She had dedicated her life to animal welfare, her passion for their well-being a driving force in her career. She had witnessed countless stories of heartbreak and resilience, her heart aching for the creatures that had been discarded, abused, and forgotten, but she had also witnessed the transformative power of love and compassion. The way a gentle touch and a kind word could rekindle a spark of hope in the eyes of an animal that had lost its way. She oversaw the shelter's operations with a firm but fair hand, her decisions guided by a deep understanding of the challenges they faced, the limited resources, the overwhelming number of animals in need of their care. She had to make difficult choices, her conscience often burdened by the knowledge that not every animal could be saved, that euthanasia was a grim reality in the face of overcrowding and the lack of available homes. She walked through the kennels, her presence a calming influence on the anxious animals, her voice a soft reassurance in the cacophony of barks and meows. She paused by Buddy's kennel, her eyes softening as she observed the playful puppy, his golden fur gleaming under the fluorescent lights, his tail wagging enthusiastically as he greeted her with a joyful bark. She then moved towards the cat room, her footsteps a familiar rhythm on the tile floor, her gaze drawn to the quiet corner where Oliver resided, his majestic form perched atop a shelf, his wise eyes observing the scene below, his purrs a gentle melody in the midst of the shelter's chaos. She watched as Oliver and Buddy interacted through the bars of their cages, their unlikely friendship a testament to the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the animal spirit in the face of adversity. She felt a warmth spread through her heart, a glimmer of hope in the midst of the shelter's daily struggles, their bond a reminder of the beauty and compassion that could exist even in the most challenging of environments. But as she continued her rounds, her clipboard filled with notes and observations, her mind calculating the numbers, the dwindling space, the limited resources, a sense of foreboding settled over her, a shadow cast by the difficult decisions that lay ahead, the knowledge that not every animal could be saved, that some would inevitably be lost in the face of the shelter's harsh realities. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on Sarah's shoulders as she sat in her small office. The shelter's adoption records spread out before her, their numbers a stark reminder of the challenges they faced. The influx of animals seemed endless, their stories a heartbreaking testament to human indifference and the unpredictable nature of life. She had always been a compassionate woman, her love for animals a driving force in her career. But the harsh realities of the shelter world, the limited resources, the overcrowding, the inevitable euthanasia of those deemed unadoptable, had taken their toll, leaving her with a weariness that often overshadowed her passion. She had witnessed countless animals come and go, their fates uncertain, their futures hanging in the balance. She had celebrated the joyous adoptions, the happy tears of new beginnings, the promise of a loving home and a second chance at happiness. But she had also witnessed the heartbreak of those left behind, the lingering sadness in their eyes, the fading hope that eventually succumbed to the grim reality of the shelter's limitations. She had carried the burden of those losses, their weight a constant reminder of the difficult choices she had to make, the sacrifices that were sometimes necessary to ensure the well-being of the majority. And as she reviewed the records, her eyes scanning the names and numbers, her mind calculating the dwindling space and resources, her heart ached with the knowledge that she would soon have to make another difficult decision, a choice that would determine the fate of Oliver and Buddy, the unlikely pair whose bond had touched her soul. She thought of Oliver, his gentle spirit, his quiet wisdom, his years of selfless devotion to the other animals in the shelter, his presence a calming influence in the midst of the chaos. She couldn't bear the thought of him facing euthanasia, his life extinguished in the sterile confines of a cage, his story ending in the sadness of an unclaimed existence. She thought of Buddy, his playful energy, his infectious enthusiasm, his unwavering loyalty to Oliver, their friendship a testament to the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the animal spirit. She couldn't imagine separating them. Their bond a beacon of hope in the face of the shelter's grim realities. She had to find a way to save them, to defy the odds, to challenge the system that seemed designed to discard those deemed less desirable, less adoptable. She had to believe in the possibility of a miracle, a twist of fate that would offer them a second chance, a chance at a life filled with love, companionship, and the simple joys that had been denied to so many within these walls. And as she closed the file, her gaze fixed on the photograph of Oliver and Buddy curled up together, their peaceful slumber a stark contrast to the turmoil within her own heart. A glimmer of hope ignited within her, a determination to find a solution. A belief in the power of connection and the enduring strength of the human-animal bond that could transcend the boundaries of their shelter's limitations. Driven by a newfound determination to save Oliver and Buddy, Sarah embarked on a quest to uncover their past, hoping to find a clue, a connection, a reason that would justify their reprieve from the shelter's grim fate. She delved into the shelter's records, her fingers tracing the faded ink on their intake forms, her eyes scanning the details, her mind searching for any hint of a past life, a family, a connection that might offer a glimmer of hope. She found Oliver's file, its information sparse and incomplete. He had been brought to the shelter by a distraught young woman, her tears a testament to the loss she had suffered, her words a vague explanation of an elderly relative's passing. The cat's presence a burden she couldn't bear. There was no name, no address, no contact information for the previous owner, just a faded photograph of Oliver. His once vibrant fur now dull and matted, his eyes reflecting the sadness of his abandonment. Sarah, her heart aching for the old cat, felt a surge of frustration. The lack of information a dead end in her search for a solution. She turned to Buddy's file, its details equally sparse. He had been found wandering the streets, his origins unknown, his past a mystery. There was no collar, no microchip, no trace of a family or home that might welcome him back. Sarah, her hope dwindling, felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. She couldn't save them both, not without a valid reason, not without a story that would touch the hearts of potential adopters, not without a connection that would justify their reprieve from the shelter's grim reality. She closed the files, their thin paper a symbol of the countless animals that had passed through the shelter's doors, their stories often ending in the same heartbreaking way. She leaned back in her chair, her gaze drawn to the window, the city lights twinkling in the distance, their cold brilliance a stark contrast to the warmth of compassion she felt for the creatures entrusted to her care. And then, as she stared at the cityscape, a thought sparked in her mind, a memory from her childhood, a story her grandmother had often told her, a tale of a cat named Oliver and a dog named Buddy. Their friendship a legend in their small town, their bond a testament to the enduring power of connection. She remembered the details of the story, the way her grandmother's eyes would twinkle as she recounted their adventures, their playful antics, their unwavering loyalty to each other. She recalled the sadness in her grandmother's voice as she described their separation, the family's move to the city, the loss of their beloved pets, their memory a lingering ache in her heart. Sarah, her own heart now pounding with a mix of disbelief and a burgeoning hope, reached for her phone, her fingers dialing her grandmother's number, her voice trembling with anticipation as she waited for the familiar voice to answer. And as her grandmother's warm greeting filled her ear, her words confirming the details of the story, the names, the breeds, the connection to the very animals that now sat in her shelter, a wave of realization washed over Sarah, a sense of destiny and a renewed determination to save them, to honor their past, to fulfill a legacy of love and companionship that had spanned generations. Sarah listened intently as her grandmother, her voice filled with a mix of nostalgia and wonder, recounted the story of her childhood companions, Oliver and Buddy, the names, the breeds, the details of their personalities and their unique bond, all aligned perfectly with the two animals currently residing in her shelter. A wave of disbelief washed over her, the realization that this was more than just a coincidence, a sense of destiny and a renewed determination to save them, to honor their past, to fulfill a legacy of love and companionship that had spanned generations. She learned how her grandparents, young and newly married, had found Oliver as a stray kitten, his adventurous spirit and gentle nature capturing their hearts. They had welcomed him into their home, Their small farmhouse in rural Vermont, a haven for the curious feline. A year later, they had adopted Buddy, a golden retriever puppy with boundless energy and a heart full of loyalty. Oliver, initially wary of the boisterous newcomer, had soon succumbed to Buddy's playful charm, their friendship blossoming into a bond that became a cherished part of the family's life. They had grown up together, their adventures filling the farmhouse with laughter and warmth. They had explored the surrounding fields and forests. Their shared love for the outdoors, a testament to their connection to nature and the simple joys of life in the countryside. They had been inseparable, their presence a constant source of comfort and companionship for Sarah's grandparents, their loyalty a reflection of the love that had bound their human family together. But then, tragedy had struck. A fire had swept through the farmhouse, its flames consuming their home and their dreams, leaving behind a trail of ashes and a void in their hearts. They had escaped with their lives, but Oliver and Buddy had been lost in the chaos, their fate uncertain, their absence a painful reminder of the life they had left behind. Sarah's grandparents had mourned their loss, their hearts heavy with grief, their memories a bittersweet tapestry of joy and sorrow. They had moved to the city, their lives taking a different turn, their connection to the countryside and the animals they had loved fading into the background of their new reality. But the memory of Oliver and Buddy had endured. Their story passed down through the generations, their names whispered with a mix of affection and sadness, their presence a lingering warmth in the hearts of those who had known them. And now, years later, their story had resurfaced, their paths crossing with Sarah's in the most unexpected of ways. Their presence in her shelter a testament to the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the animal spirit. Sarah, her heart filled with a newfound determination, knew what she had to do. She would save Oliver and Buddy, she would honor their legacy, she would fulfill the unspoken promise that had been passed down through the generations. A promise to cherish the bond between humans and animals, to celebrate the transformative power of love, and to offer a second chance to those who had lost their way. She rushed back to the shelter, her footsteps echoing through the quiet hallways, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and anticipation. She reached Oliver and Buddy's cages, their forms nestled together in a peaceful slumber, their presence a beacon of hope in the sterile environment. She gently woke them, her voice a soft whisper, her touch a reassuring caress. "Oliver, Buddy," she said, her words carrying a warmth that mirrored the joy in her heart. "I have something to tell you." And as their eyes met hers, their gazes filled with a trusting curiosity. She shared their story, the tale of their past, the connection they had to her family, the legacy they carried within their hearts. Oliver and Buddy, their ears perked, their tails wagging gently, listened intently, their understanding transcending the boundaries of language, their spirits resonating with the echoes of a love that had endured through the years. And in that moment, as the shelter's fluorescent lights cast a soft glow on their faces, a sense of belonging washed over them, a recognition of their shared history, a connection to a past they had almost forgotten, a promise of a future filled with hope and the enduring power of love. The revelation of Oliver and Buddy's shared history, their connection to Sarah's family, their legacy of love and loyalty, spread through the shelter like wildfire, igniting a spark of hope and a renewed sense of purpose within the hearts of the staff and volunteers. They gathered around Oliver and Buddy's cages, their faces a mixture of awe and disbelief, their voices hushed whispers of admiration for the two creatures who had found their way back to each other after years of separation. They shared stories of their own encounters with the pair, their observations of their unique bond, their gentle nature, their calming influence on the other animals in the shelter. They spoke of Oliver, his quiet wisdom and patient demeanor, his comforting presence in the cat room, his ability to soothe the anxieties of the younger, more skittish felines. They recounted tales of Buddy, his playful spirit and infectious enthusiasm, his knack for bringing a smile to the faces of even the most hardened staff members, his unwavering loyalty to Oliver a testament to the enduring power of friendship. And as they shared their stories, a sense of collective responsibility emerged. A determination to find a way to keep Oliver and Buddy together, to honor their past, to celebrate their reunion, to ensure that their story would have a happy ending. They organized a special adoption event, their efforts focused on finding a loving home for the pair, a place where they could spend their remaining years together. Surrounded by the warmth and companionship they deserved, they spread the word through the community, their posters and social media posts featuring Oliver and Buddy's heartwarming story. Their plea for a forever home reaching the hearts of those who had always believed in the magic of the human-animal bond. The response was overwhelming. People from all walks of life, touched by their story, flocked to the shelter, their eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and compassion, their hearts open to the possibility of welcoming these two extraordinary creatures into their lives. They watched as Oliver and Buddy interacted, their gentle playfulness and quiet affection a testament to the enduring power of their connection. They listened to Sarah recount their history, her voice filled with emotion as she shared the details of their past, their separation, their reunion, their presence in the shelter a symbol of hope and the enduring power of love. And as the day drew to a close, a sense of joyful anticipation filled the air. Several families had expressed their interest in adopting Oliver and Buddy, their homes and hearts open to the possibility of sharing their lives with these two special creatures. The shelter staff, their own hearts filled with gratitude, carefully reviewed the applications. Their decision a difficult one, their desire to find the perfect match for Oliver and Buddy a testament to their dedication and their belief in the transformative power of the human-animal bond. And as the sun set on the bustling city, casting long shadows across the shelter's walls, a decision was made. A new chapter in Oliver and Buddy's story about to unfold. A testament to the enduring power of compassion, the resilience of the animal spirit, and the unwavering hope that could blossom even in the most unexpected of circumstances. The news of Oliver and Buddy's impending adoption spread through the shelter like a wave of warmth, its ripples reaching the furthest corners of the cat room and the dog kennels. The animals, their senses attuned to the subtle shifts in the shelter's atmosphere, seemed to sense the change, their usual anxieties tempered by a glimmer of hope, their eyes reflecting the shared joy and anticipation. Oliver, perched on his usual self, his wise eyes observing the scene below, felt a rumble deep within his chest, a warmth spreading through his aging body, a sense of contentment he had not experienced since the loss of his beloved human companion. He had witnessed countless animals come and go, their fates uncertain, their futures hanging in the balance, but his own story, once destined for a similar ending, had taken an unexpected turn. A twist of fate that had brought him not only a new companion in Buddy but also a second chance at a loving home, a place where he could spend his twilight years surrounded by warmth, care, and the simple joys of companionship. He looked at Buddy, his playful antics now a familiar comfort in the shelter's often chaotic environment, his presence a reminder of the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the animal spirit. He had found a friend, a kindred spirit, a fellow traveler on the journey of life. Their bond a testament to the unexpected friendships that could blossom in the most unlikely of circumstances. He felt a surge of gratitude for the young woman who had recognized their connection, her compassion and determination a beacon of hope in the face of the shelter's grim realities. He had seen the sadness in her eyes, the empathy that had drawn her to him, the love that had fueled her efforts to save him from an uncertain fate. And now, as the news of their impending adoption spread, he felt a sense of belonging, a connection to the human world that had once seemed so distant, a belief in the possibility of a happy ending, a future filled with warmth, companionship, and the simple joys of life that had been denied to him for so long. Buddy, his playful energy now tempered by a quiet anticipation, wagged his tail excitedly, his barks echoing through the shelter, his joy a contagious force that lifted the spirits of the other animals. He had found a friend in Oliver, a wise and gentle companion who had guided him through the challenges of shelter life, his presence a comforting reassurance in the face of his own fears and uncertainties. He had learned from Oliver, his wisdom and experience a valuable resource in navigating the complexities of their shared environment. He had come to respect the old cat, his quiet strength and gentle nature a stark contrast to the boisterous energy of the other dogs. His friendship a testament to the enduring power of connection that transcended the boundaries of species. And now, as the news of their impending adoption spread, he felt a surge of excitement, a yearning for a new beginning, a chance to explore the world beyond the confines of the shelter, to share his playful spirit and unwavering loyalty with a loving family, to create new memories and forge new bonds that would enrich his life. The shelter staff, their hearts filled with a mix of joy and sadness, prepared Oliver and Buddy for their departure, their movements gentle, their voices filled with affection and a hint of regret at the parting. They had grown fond of the pair, their presence a bright spot in the often challenging environment of the shelter, their bond a reminder of the beauty and compassion that could exist even in the face of adversity. But they also knew that this was a happy ending, a chance for Oliver and Buddy to find a loving home, a place where they could thrive and experience the joys of companionship and belonging. They wished them well, their farewells a mix of tears and smiles, their hearts filled with gratitude for the opportunity to have played a part in their journey. And as Oliver and Buddy stepped out of the shelter doors, their paws treading on the unfamiliar pavement, their eyes adjusting to the bright sunlight, their hearts filled with a mix of apprehension and excitement, they knew that their adventure was just beginning, a new chapter unfolding, a testament to the enduring power of love, loyalty, and the transformative power of connection that had brought them together and would continue to guide their path. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the bustling streets of Los Angeles. The city lights twinkled to life, their vibrant glow a stark contrast to the quiet serenity of a small, cozy home nestled in the suburbs. Inside, Oliver and Buddy, their bodies curled up together on a soft rug, their breaths mingling in a gentle rhythm, slept peacefully. Their dreams a tapestry of shared adventures and the enduring love they had found. Their new home, a haven of warmth and comfort, was a far cry from the sterile confines of the shelter. The walls were adorned with colorful artwork, the shelves lined with books, the furniture worn but inviting, the atmosphere a testament to the loving care of their new human companion. A kind and gentle woman named Emily. Emily, her heart filled with gratitude for the gift of their presence in her life, watched over them as they slept. Her smile a reflection of the joy they had brought into her world. She had always loved animals, her home a sanctuary for stray cats and dogs, her compassion a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way. But Oliver and Buddy, their story a testament to the enduring power of connection and the resilience of the animal spirit, held a special place in her heart. She had been touched by their journey, their unlikely friendship a reminder that even in the face of adversity, love and loyalty could prevail. She had welcomed them into her home with open arms, her heart filled with a maternal warmth, her every action guided by a deep desire to provide them with the care and companionship they deserved. She had nurtured their bond, her presence a calming influence on their anxieties, her gentle touch a reassurance of their safety and belonging. And as they thrived in their new environment, their playful antics and quiet moments of affection filling her days with a newfound joy, she realized that they had not only found a home with her, but they had also brought a sense of healing and purpose into her own life. She had been struggling with the recent loss of her husband, his passing leaving a void in her heart that had seemed impossible to fill. But Oliver and Buddy, their presence a constant reminder of the enduring power of love and connection, had helped her to navigate her grief, their companionship a balm to her wounded soul. She had found solace in their unconditional love, their unwavering loyalty, their ability to bring laughter and warmth into her quiet home. She had rediscovered the simple joys of life, the beauty of nature, the importance of cherishing every moment, every connection, every bond that graced her path. And as the years passed, their story became a cherished part of her life, a reminder of the transformative power of compassion and the enduring legacy of love that could be found in the most unexpected of places. She would often share their story with others, her words a testament to the healing power of the human-animal bond, her voice an inspiration to those who sought to open their hearts and homes to animals in need. Oliver and Buddy, their lives now intertwined with Emily's, became a symbol of hope and resilience in their community, their presence a reminder that even in the face of loss and adversity, love and connection could prevail, that the human spirit, like the animal spirit, had the capacity to heal, to grow, and to find new beginnings in the most unexpected of circumstances. And as the sun rose each day, casting its golden rays across the city, their story continued to unfold, a testament to the enduring power of friendship, loyalty, and unwavering belief in the transformative power of love that could be found in the heart of a bustling metropolis, where a cat and a dog, once lost and alone, had found each other, and in doing so, had found their way home.